Another popular name in pragmatics recently has been John Rogers Searle. Searle is popular for his work on speech acts because he categorized speech acts into various categories based on certain criteria, which we will talk in a while. But his work on speech acts has been very influential along with the work of Austin. So he actually separated or divided speech acts into various categories, for example, commissives, declarations, imperatives, etc. So, and that helped readers, especially the beginners, to understand the nature of speech acts in a better way. His notion of the background, which is helpful in understanding various speech acts, has also been very popular. His contributions include his works and ideas about the philosophy of mind, social philosophy, as well as the philosophy of language. So I'll try to answer these questions about speech acts. Why are speech acts grouped together in classes, and why there are only 5 classes, or the number of classes which come to us in academic discourse? He talks about it in detail. Then he distinguishes various speech acts based on 2 major properties. Number 1 is their direction of fit, and this direction of fit is based on the relationship of speech acts in relation to the structure or the nature of the word and the function they perform, or in other words, the world. So the directions of this fit has been between world and the word, or the word and the world, or both. We'll talk about this. So he bases this distinction based on direction of fit and what is that they express, or for what purpose they are being used, or what apparently or in real sense they try to convey. There are 4 possible directions of fit according to Searle, and we can see that here we have word to world fit, and then we can have world to word fit, or double direction of fit. I mean, certain speech act might have a direction from word to world. He's probably influencing world in a certain way, or being influenced by the world in a certain way. It could have a word to word fit simultaneously. Then there could be a null direction of fit. It is not influencing anything in the world, or whatever it says has no bearing on the truth or the meaning of the things. Let's see some examples in this regard. For example, Searle proposes that declarations have the double direction of fit. Declarations are those speech acts which actually bring in a bigger change in the lives of people. For example, if a priest declares a man and woman as husband and wife in the church, it's a bigger change in their life. So such declarations have a double fit. That means they have an impact moving from word to word and then from word to word. Expressives have null direction because they simply say something plainly which can easily be taken as true. For example, if somebody says, I'm sorry that I tripped you. Feeling sorry is something we would generally trust in, and we won't question its truthfulness. So it may be taken as true statement. So it has a null direction. Commissive share the word to word distinction because with directives the intention belonging to the speaker. So because here in some kind of commissives we have a direction of fit with directives and intention belonging to the speaker, we focus more on the intention of the speaker, because in commissives he commits to do something in future. For example, I promise you to give you my car next week, let's say. So here the intention belongs to the speaker, that he is actually promising. So we have a word to word fit here. This taxonomy of speech acts have not been perfect. It has been discussed and criticized by many scholars in pragmatics recently. One problem with this taxonomy has been that it lumps together questions and orders and requests, seeing questions as requests for information. Then Searle has also been concerned with questions about how the use of language relates to linguistic structure. So he has talked extensively about the relationship between linguistic structure and how those structures are manipulated in various language uses, which is in fact the primary discussion of overall pragmatics also. He argues that the nature of language cannot be separated from the functions of language and how it is used by speakers. So the structure has a bearing on the meaning which we intend to convey. Searle treats language as a natural extension of non-linguistic biological capacities. It is one of the biological capacities of human beings which help us to perform various acts and to convey certain meanings in the real world. Some of the linguists might have agreed that the nature of language and its functions are one and the same. Searle also wrote that it's pointless and perverse to study language abstracting away from its use in communication. He believes that a real study or a genuine deep study of language is only possible when we see that language being used in real communication. And this is probably one of the main focuses of pragmatics throughout its development.